In this lesson, we're going to introduce the if statement. That will allow us to execute different pieces of code depending on the conditions which we give to it. Okay, so let's use an if statement. The first thing I want to do is to create a file. Put it there so you can see it all, and I want to get some information from the user first. So just because we've done it before, let's put name equals input, enter name, and what we're going to do is we're going to give different print statements depending on what the name is, and we just do it with if. So I'm going to say if name. Now we might think that's equals from mathematics, but that's an assignment operator in most programming languages. We want to use two equals signs to say if name is this thing here. So if name equals Mark. And then what we do in Python, we've not had to do this before, if we want to do something based on something else, and we'll do this a lot, we put a full colon at the end, and then this automatically does it, but this is 4 spaces in. So you can do the I, the F, the space and the N. 4 spaces important. You can tab sometimes, but it's traditional really to use 4 spaces. If you're using a programming editor, you can change it to do that automatically for you. So if the name is Mark, what do I want it to do? Well, I'm going to say print, hi Mark, because I don't have to say use the dollar, the percentage name thing here, because we've already decided it is Mark. Hi Mark, how are you? Not that we're going to wait around for an answer. And then we can go back here. We finished that now. That's the only thing I want to do. I'm going to say elif. That means else if. So if it's Mark, do this. Else, if it's, so if name is Melvin, then we're going to say print using false names now. I see. Doesn't really matter what it is. And then finally, I'm going to use an else. So I'm going to say now, if it's Mark, do this. If it's not Mark, but it's Melvin, do this. Else, if it's none of those things, do that. If it's none of those things, then can you do this? So it's always going to do something, this one. So print I don't know you. Now I've got to be careful here. You might remember from the work we did on printing that I've got a single quote here, single quote again, so it's getting confused. So what I can do, I can escape out of that, and that will actually do the single quote. I could have also just kept that as a single quote and changed these to double quotes. It really is up to us what we do. And that's it. That's our program done now. So I'm going to save it. And I'm going to save it to the desktop, and I'm going to call it if.py, because that's what we're looking at. And now let's run the program, run the module, and enter name. So I'm going to type Mark. Hi Mark, how are you? Done. Let's run that module again. What if I put Melvin? Melvin, using false names now, I see. Let's run that program again. So this time I'm going to put, let's put Gary. I don't know you. So what did it do? It checked first of all if it was Mark. It was Mark. It did this, and it went right to the end. It didn't do anything else. Then the next time we ran the program, it checked for Melvin. So first it checked for Mark, wasn't there. So then it said, well, I'll check for Melvin then. It found Melvin, so it put using false names now, I see. And then it went to the end of the program. It finished with this block of code. And then the last time we did enter name, so we put Gary, and it checked for Mark, it wasn't Mark. It checked for Melvin, it wasn't Melvin. It says, well, okay, I'm going to say I don't know you. Let's just see what happens. You don't need all of these things here. I could actually get rid of that part there. And now if I save it and I run it, if I type Melvin now, I don't know you. Let's go back to here. Let's undo that there. What if I get rid of the else statements? File, save, file, run module. And now let's put Gary. Doesn't do anything. It checked for Mark, it wasn't Mark, so it didn't do this. It checked for Melvin, it wasn't Melvin, so it didn't do this. There was nothing else to check, it went there. The only thing that must be there is the if statement. The else if is optional. You can have many of these. I could have another one here. Elif, the name, whoops, I need to come back there. We need that indenting. If the name is Gary, then I could put I do not believe you. And then we can have, whoops, go back, we can have an else, and we're going to put print, you know, blah. Okay, and now file, save. I'm only going to do one of these here. You can try this out. Let's try Gary. And you know, I do not believe you. So it can check the whole lot. You could have loads of these if you wanted to. We've reached the end of our video. Please remember to subscribe. In the description below the video, you will find links to exercises that you can do to make sure you understand what we've done. Each video is going to build on what we've done before so that the knowledge that we gain gets more and more thorough. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay in field with Winfield.